Hello there, Golfer here, and welcome back to Let's Play of Civ 7 as Augustus of the Abbasid dynasty now. We're going to go ahead and go on with Exploration Age. Start by choosing our legacies. Alright, so I don't care for the infantry units. What I do care for is the settlement limit. That's huge. So it's an automatic pick. +2 settlement limit is amazing, especially because we're out. Now, when it comes to Golden Age, we have this. Oh, that's interesting. So we can switch. So I could make this my capital. But if I got the... I could make this would become a city if I got it, and then I could switch to make this my capital. I wouldn't have to buy any cities, which is really interesting. So that's something to consider, but I think the culture is better because there's just going to be a little bit of gold to do. So if I do it like this, if I do grab you, and that means I can't select this, and then I'm going to switch my capital to here. Well, this will become my new capital. It's got a decent number of places where I can still build stuff. It's gonna be pretty solid in terms of like food and production. It's gonna be really big. In fact, it's already just as big as my capital and growing faster. Production, we're at 41. Or that's Roma. It's at 53. It's very close, but that will change because I get additional production in my capital. If my capital changes, that will also change. Now, we could consider making it down here. What's the production down here? 42. It's about the same. But the big difference is there's a little bit too close to other cities. I can't really... Okay, yeah, so this is being worked. I wish I could see what belongs to it, but there's a lot of tiles already taken by... Yeah, there's not a lot of tiles that I can work. So while I want this to be a city, I don't really want it to be my capital. My capital is going to be my main focus of my bonuses and where I'm going to want to be able to build stuff. So I like switching that. So I could, theoretically, switch my capital to Wasset and then get the economic to do this, but it's not going to be that expensive. In fact, it's only probably going to be a couple hundred gold to do. Yeah, it's only going to be 200 gold. I'm only going to be doing one city because I'm going to be switching. Just let me check down here. Yeah, it's going to be 200 gold. I'm going to be switching this one. So this is going to be a city. This is going to be a city. And I just have to pay 200 gold to make this. 2 economic points are not worth... Are just not worth that. So, now the only downside here is that I'm going to end up wasting an economic point. Because you're only allowed to pick 2 economic points. I don't care for this. Yes, I could get it with this, but I only got 1. This could have been bumped up to 15. 15 for me is like whoop-de-doo. That's not that much gold. I don't particularly care. So, anyway, that's up and done. Wonders you control get +1 culture and +1 happiness. That's also a pretty solid one. Now, the thing is that... So that'll be like 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's like 7, 8. That's also due. Considering it's 2 points, I'll probably get more culture if I don't do that. So let's see. I don't want to give up culture for science. This is really interesting. Okay. I will be grabbing this. The additional food at -10% gold. That's going to merge really well, so I'm going to be getting really, really cheap people. We're only going to get 10 science if I pick this. I'm going to get more science if I just double up on this. So we're left with expansionist, militaristic, cultural, and diplomatic. Let's see and look at what I want. Now I have a scientific from my bonus. I probably could have done something else for that, but that's fine. So, what do I want? Well, I would like the golden happiness for buildings. That sounds lovely, but ultimately I think it's better because I'm going to want to shoot for this, and I'm going to want multiple points. It's going to be boom, 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 or boom, boom, boom. Now this is going to increase up to about 20. And this is also going to increase. But I have lots of gold. I'm not too concerned about that. So we'll just go ahead and grab you. Now, expansionist, militaristic, cultural, diplomatic. Expansionist wouldn't hurt. Or militaristic would also be good. Alternatively, cultural. We definitely want one cultural. Diplomatic is not really important. So we want at least one cultural. We got it. We want at least one militaristic for the extra settlement slot. And then with the free point, I could either get 5 gold per turn, which is like whoop-de-doo, or I can get the expansionist. I like that. Alright, so we've changed the capital over here, Baghdad, and it's also in the desert, which is appropriate. And then we're going to go ahead and first thing, it's 400. Because I have a second city, it doubled the cost. Still well within my expectations. We can now build things in this city. Now the only downside to all of this is 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. You're ageless. So the one thing I want to do, because I didn't build the cities here, is I want to make sure I have someplace I can put my unique one. So those are both overbuildable. One of those is not overbuildable. I'm going to lose the science. I'd rather not give up the science. We have the happiness, which is fine. Probably start losing that as I make specialists, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw you here. You're growing. I can start getting specialists right now, which we will do. Throw you there and get a nice little chunk of gold for doing that, which is lovely. It's a nice thing about being the Abbasid is that I'm going to have a lot of actual workable tiles in my city, which is not necessarily the case very often. So that's just going to be a nice boost there. Let's grab that tin. And we have all of these. Now, the only thing I could really think of that I would want is the production, or I could start getting specialists, because specialists will increase my growth rate, at least until I get 5, and also it will give me gold directly. So I like that quite a bit. Grow. You don't need to grow anymore, so we can go ahead and put you on your food focus. You're going to get us 34 additional food per turn, which is lovely. And that can go up with additional food buildings. We're at 124 food. Being sent evenly to all 3 cities. I love to see it. There's nowhere particular you need. Food is going to be more useful. Or culture, actually. Culture. 1 food versus 1 culture. I'd rather have the culture. And you don't need to grow anymore. I'm still very friendly with him because we have an alliance. So I'm not too worried about it. I didn't build walls here because I either didn't have the money or I forgot. I probably just forgot. But that's fine. This is very defendable if that ever would happen. But we're currently allies, so I'm not too worried about it. So I think we're just going to turn you into a... Well, let's see. Or how much food would that even give me? 20? 20 is not a lot. It's not particularly good, so we can have some other options here. Let's see, we can turn it into religious for plus style, which is usually pretty pointless. Plus 7, it's an over 10% increase if we turn into a hub. We could turn you into a fort town, or we can turn you into a city center, but the city, there's not really many places for me to, like, buy. Like, I'd be stuck. I have 1, 2, 3, and I guess I could go out this way. So with that in mind, do I want the influence or do I want an urban center? Nice, but I don't really have much to spend influence on, especially because I wasn't running out before and I'm going to only end up getting more as time goes on. So I think we're going to go and try out the urban center. I've never had like a urban center early on in the game. And I can buy things like the bazaar and more stuff will come up as we do it, which is nice. Grab this. You're also done, but you are going to be food focused. You've got a lot of food. Yeah, 32 food, 81 base. I'm going to put you on food focus. You're also done, and there's nothing really important for you to make here, so we'll go ahead and put you on food focus. Let's see how much that's going to give me. Only 20. Well, 20 is better than nothing. Bumps up to 77. That's all of our cities. Let's see what they're doing. 1,000 food per turn. We're getting... Roma is actually not doing as well as the others, but it's getting a nice little split between all of these cities, which is great. We're growing... Cities are growing extremely fast. It's 11, 11, and 13, which is lovely. All right, now that we've done that, there's only one city-state that I'm aware of. Nani. Do that. Before I do any more, let's go ahead and do this. +1 culture from specialists. Or I could do this. Now, I'm tempted to do this because this is going to give me way more in the short term. I'm going to need like 12 more specialists. Yeah, this will give me more in the short term. I just have to immediately start spending resources in order to have a better relationship with them. It'll start decreasing. So we'll stay allies. That sounds good. Hopefully I get another culture point and be able to grab that. This will give me increased yields right away, which is awesome. 49 more food is nothing to sneeze at. And I can either get the settlement limit or I can start going down this path here. Get a settlement limit. Then we have 2 science. So plus 40. Now I could either get this or this. This is all the time and will only go up. They're both good. Hopefully I can get at least one more coming up. Economic, +2 gold for every tech, or +2 gold per age for every active trade route. Well, I'm going to have active trade routes. But I want the resource capacity in towns more than I want the resource capacity in cities. Because I'm going to have a lot of towns. So I'm more inclined to go this way. And we are going to want the settlement, cheaper buying and settlements. So I spend a lot. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead. Now between the two of them, he has less culture, so I'm going to give him the cultural aid. And I'm going to give her that, and hopefully they will ask me in return, and hopefully that will maintain... I think that's only if they offer it does it increase, or if they sanction it does it increase, but you know, is what it is. Alright, so... 3 production for a brickyard or 5 production for a stone cutter. Do I even want to bother with the brickyard with reproduction when I might end up removing those in the future? Probably not. Although the stone cutter basically does the same thing, so I want to avoid putting it next to wonders. So like these 2 spots I'm going to want to have as buildings, and we don't need a farm here anymore, so let's go ahead and throw them both down here. And then I can have a bazaar to replace the market, even though it will overbuild the garden, which is really annoying. It should overbuild its respective building, in all honesty. Or I should be able to choose. They should make that, like, easier to cipher. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already have 5, so he's already maxed out. So we're going to get an increase. So this is going to be a mine, which is going to increase by... 1 for the brickyard and 1, I believe, for the stone cutter. It said mines? Yeah. So with that in mind, this is actually going to become a 3 pretty soon, so I'll go ahead and do that instead. Okay, so we have a culture buff, which I'll just put in my highest culture city. We have, unfortunately, lots of truffles, which is really disappointing. We have no bonus here, and here we want to put in, actually give the most gold, that's great. Do food on warehouse buildings, I guess we'll just throw you in there because you can. Gold, I guess you could just go here, and we'll just throw you in here because we really don't need food because we've already got a bunch of towns set up. We'll get cartography first. We need to see about increasing my science. That would be lovely. Now, just out of curiosity, I'm going to double check. Yeah. All right. Now, there's a few places I want to go. You have a camel. You're going to go over there. Nani isn't available for their trade route yet. Yeah, you can go here. I guess I'm more or less done with the definite conquest. I'm much more interested in exploration right now, so I'm not too concerned. We're gonna leave one ship behind, one cog behind. I'm gonna send this one probably on a suicide mission because I don't think there's anything here. One, two, there looks like there's something here though. I'm pretty sure these can only exist within 3 tiles of a landmass, and they're outside of my landmass. So I think it's a pretty safe bet that there is land over there, somewhere around here. So we'll go ahead and basically send these ships out to die. Hopefully they won't. Now for culture, we have a nice quick jump on culture. We definitely want to go piety. Alright, so we don't really need this. But there's nothing else we really need. I'm not building military. This only gives me 2 culture compared to 5 culture. It's a giveaway. And then the extra production is always nice. Alright, build me a stone cutter. That overbuilds the blacksmith. I actually want to keep that there. Nowhere is really amazing in that regard. I'd rather keep this for unique buildings. I'll lose some happiness if I put it here. I don't really want to put it there. I'd rather not give up the influence while I can. I guess, yeah, I can just throw it in my capital. Is it age? Oh, it is ageless. So if it's ageless... yeah, I guess we could throw it here instead. Or I could put it in my capital. Let's put it in my capital. Alright, and because of this, we have another Great General, which is good. Fortunately, it doesn't have all the unique bonuses. Let's come here and alert. 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 Okay, so I sent one to here, one to here. I could go with Gilgamesh again. Or I can send one down to Ada. Or I can wait 15 turns and I can start getting this, but it's not very economic to do that. So we'll just send you down to Ada. I think that might also give a bonus to trade. I might be mistaken about that, but hopefully. Choose our government. Once again, a good bet is food. Now, gold is also really good. This is actually, I have so much food, it really isn't necessary. It might actually be better for me to get gold. Gold is way more important, especially when you're playing kind of like tall like I am. And then overbuilding is also really nice. Local plutocracy. I typically go feudal democracy. Let's try plutocracy. More atolls. Look at you. Okay, well, we have a ship up here. And it's my only ship up here, so we're going to send you over this direction. I'm going to go ahead and get open borders once you get there, and then we'll send you along that coast. There is land here. Look at that. Okay, that might be distant lands, because it's distant lands if it's got an ocean tile surrounding it.
I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the...
Okay, so... I'm going to want 5 turns to build it here. Alternatively, it's going to be 9 turns to build it here. So we will be building, purchasing it here, the temple. Throwing it here. Fortunately, it gets rid of the monument, which kind of sucks for the influence, but that's the best place to put it. That immediately unlocks creating a religion. We'll go ahead and just pick Protestantism because it's ironic. Boom, we got our religion. The reason why you want to rush for this is because you can guarantee the good beliefs. I think the best belief is evangelism. You get +1 relic for a first-time conversion of another civilization in a distant land that is not a city-state. That can be huge if you have a really strong gold civ, because you can just buy missionaries like crazy, preferably in a distant land settlement near foreign cities, and you can get a ton of relics. And as for the bonus, I really like interfaith dialogue where you get +4 science for each foreign settlement following your religion. It's especially useful if you can make it carry over to the next era and you have a ton of other cities following the religion. Especially given that we have a pretty sizable difference between culture and science. Oh, we can get a relic, or we can get +1 per... Oh my gosh, what? Workers have stopped to gather state when they Harlem altar team was once forgotten world relic of the origins of Protestantism. We get a relic, lost gold, it's a unique relic, or we just get +1 production on specialists. Holy cow, do we just want +1 production on specialists? Let me double check. We're at 38 production in this city. Boom. Up to 43. That's crazy. This early in this era, I've never gotten that before, and this early in, we got it. That's crazy. All right, so do I have a lot of homeland treasures? I have one. I have one. I could settle here. Let me see, is there a good, because remember, I have my guy. Oh, he's not my guy because he switched it up. Oh, that's a waste. Big bummer. All right, well, I have 3 potential slots. I put a city right here. I won't get access to the chocolate, unfortunately. So I'd be more inclined to settle it. Yeah, we wouldn't have fresh water. Ooh, is that horse? It is in range of that city. So I'd have to commit right away. I can't get them all, unfortunately, but it would go there. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 homeland treasures, which would also be useful going to the next age. It's also useful because this is going to be kind of like a strategic area in case something were ever to happen again, or any kind of war, which might happen later. So with that in mind, we have 2 settlers there. I only have the 2? I only have the 2. All right. So I do like that. We have enough. It would be 3 turns, or I could just buy one for 800, which I'll just buy one for 800. And we'll send you down this way. That'll show, we'll use that to make sure I commit to getting the horses. I'll probably have to buy some buildings. And it will also be, this one would definitely be a fort town. It's got a lot of space to build buildings and is... Actually, where's your capital? Your capital moved. Interesting. Well, it is just going to be a nice protective buff against any wars that may happen. With that in mind, I would really like the Grand Bazaar. Would also like this wonder as well. So we're going to go for the Grand Bazaar. Here we have land down here. I don't know if there's going to be good land. There's also land over here. We're going to send you up that way. And we can't go in yet for another 3 turns with my settler, but we can get them ready. And I might be going over my settlement limit here in a second, but 1 over isn't going to kill me.
Wealth circulates like blood. All parts.
Let's see if this is anything interesting. So far, nothing. It's not particularly interesting. We have tea here. We have 2 resources here. Okay, that definitely makes it worthwhile. I will have to be careful. Let's see how much. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2. You're there and 3. Yeah, you're gonna head up that way. I will accept because it's free. What's not to like about that? We get the Tomb of Askia, which I would also like because I have desert. In fact, I would like that more. Additional resource capacity is awesome. If I look, I can build the Grand Bazaar here. But if I'm gonna build the tomb over here, I would like as many items as possible in here. Plus, he has the most production. So... Is this desert? No. Let's see here. I'd like to keep all of my desert. I'd like to keep these. So I guess we could put it here, because that would make these pretty good. Boom, put you there. And by the time you're done building that, you'll be able to go straight into building that, and we can get a bunch of items in my capital. We already have a bonus. We could go for production for getting those buildings done more quickly. I will have buildings, like you're going to have buildings queued up, you're going to have buildings queued up. So yeah, I agree. Let's actually do buildings. And then when it comes to anything else, I guess we'll just grab this for now. 2 culture isn't particularly worth my time. Okay, you can go ahead and start healing up. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we have confirmed 2 locations for distant lands. Rather have the bazaar. Throw you down there. I want to make sure I leave some space to build my unique buildings. Both of those are buildable, but... Yeah, sure. Okay, trade route. Are you going at ocean tiles? That's so I hate how they automatically go into ocean tiles sometimes. Alright. I don't really need food. Oh, we have a production tile here. Production and gold. Put my camel in there. Production and gold. Get the gold. Beautiful. And then I'm not building units, so I don't particularly care. I'll just throw them in whichever one is best, which is you, even though you have close to the highest amount of food. Eh, we'll throw it in here. You have a little less food. It's fine. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you all very much for watching, and God bless.